Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host, Doug, with your video blog here for November 12th, 2013. It is 11/12/13. We're back here on a Tuesday with your Blog and Grill, wrapping up your weekend action and looking ahead to some other stuff going on this week as well as your New York sports update. Later on, also, we're going to go around the Shield. I'm going to talk playoff races. I'll give you my BCS top 5, but first I want to get to a couple games. 2 games from the college ranks, and the first one I want to talk about is my Syracuse Orange taking on the Maryland Terrapins. Syracuse is now 5-4 overall, 3-2 in the ACC. They played a great game. They didn't ask a lot out of Terrell Hunt. He did turn it over once. They also fumbled one, but the Syracuse defense was extremely solid, allowing 211 pass yards, but under 300 total yards as they gave up 81 rushing yards as well. They played great. They got to Brown, blitzing on a lot of plays, and the big player of the game has to be Jerome Smith. 28 carries, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Orange. The Orange are now 5-4. They have 3 games left, and they need to win 1 more to be bowl eligible, so it should be exciting to see, and we'll see what Syracuse can do. I'm worried about injuries. They play with a very reckless style, so hopefully they can figure that out, play a little more conservative, and they can get it done and maybe get into a good, solid bowl game. All right, the other game I want to talk about is LSU and Alabama. This was quite the matchup for pretty much a half of a game. The halftime score of this game was, I got to find it here. Number 1 was, the halftime score was 17-14, and then the Alabama Crimson Tide outscored the Tigers 21-3 in the second half. They win 38-17. An impressive performance by the number 1 team. They got to Mettenberger. Mettenberger wasn't great. Mettenberger only threw the ball 23 times. Didn't turn it over, so that was big for LSU. They did fumble it twice. They lost 2 big fumbles. They could not get the running game going, only 43 rushing yards. And really, Alabama didn't throw the ball great either. McCarron was 14-21, 79, and 3 touchdowns, but those were mostly short passes. The big runner had to be T.J. Yeldon, 25 carries, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns. A very impressive performance by him. And Alabama has really set themselves apart as the top team in college football with 1 big matchup left against Auburn. Maybe an SEC title game against Missouri at this point. But now that's going to segue us right into our BCS top 5. And the top 5, Alabama on top, Florida State 2, Ohio State 3, Stanford 4, and Baylor, number 5. Stanford, of course, 1 loss. Baylor unbeaten. And looking down through the schedules, the team with the easiest schedule I see is really Florida State. They got Syracuse this week. And if you compare them to Ohio State right now, Syracuse and Illinois are the next 2 matchups for those 2 teams. I see those teams being pretty even matched. Then the next game, you got Idaho against Indiana, and I'm saying those teams are about the same, or Indiana's a little better. Then we got Florida State taking on Florida, and Ohio State taking on Michigan. Those 2 teams I say match up pretty evenly, and the difference I'm seeing here is in the ACC title game. And if we go to the ACC conference standings, it's looking like probably Florida State is going to match up with a Georgia Tech or a Virginia Tech, which are unranked after Miami's struggling now that Duke Johnson, the running back, is out. And then you also have the other situation here with the Big Ten title. And the Big Ten title could likely be a matchup of Michigan State and Ohio State if all goes as planned. And Michigan State is ranked, so Ohio State could have the tougher schedule going down the stretch of those 2 teams, but really the team with the toughest stretch has to be Baylor, as they have 2 ranked teams in Oklahoma State and Texas, and also 2 good teams, Texas Tech and TCU, going down the stretch. And Stanford, if 2 of those teams slip up, Stanford might be able to sneak up there into a number 3 spot. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think Alabama will win out, and the other 2 teams will fall in line, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. All right, so tomorrow I'll be back with my Heisman race update, and the Heisman race has been shooken up big time. I'll let you know who my top guy is in the Heisman race coming up tomorrow on Doug's Sports Blog and Grill. But now I want to get back to the NFL action. It's time to go around the Shield. So last night we saw Tampa Bay pick up their first win of the year, 22-19 over the Dolphins. Sunday Night Football, New Orleans, Drew Brees lighting up the Dallas defense. New Orleans wins 49-17. Arizona, in a late game stop, gets a big win over Houston, 27-24. Denver keeps pace. Peyton Manning might be hurt, but Denver gets it done 28-20 as they beat the Chargers. Cam Newton and Colin Kaepernick, not great, but what was great was the Carolina defense. Panthers beat the 49ers 10-9. Russell Wilson has probably one of his best games east of the Mississippi, Seattle over Atlanta 33-10. Detroit and Chicago go down to the wire. Calvin Johnson catches 2 touchdown passes. Jay Cutler goes down with an injury. Josh McCown in Detroit wins 21-19. Nick Foles continues his rapid pace, 16 touchdowns to no interceptions. Seneca Wallace goes down on the first drive. Tolzien to start next week. Philly over Green Bay 27-13. Jacksonville gets off the schneid against the Tennessee Titans 29-27. St. Louis all over the Colts 38-8 behind Tavon Austin's 3 touchdowns and over 320 all-purpose yards on the day. Giants get it done at home 24-20. They get back into the NFC playoff race as well as they're at 3-6. Pittsburgh takes down Buffalo 23-10 behind Roethlisberger and a solid defense. Baltimore gives up a late game Hail Mary but wins it in overtime behind the leg of Tucker 20-17. And Minnesota, of course, took care of business 34-27 on Thursday night. So that's around the Shield. Now I want to get to the playoff races in the NFC. I'm going to tell you who will win these playoff races right now. And first we'll go to the NFC East. Dallas and Philly tied at 5-5. The other two teams are at 3-6. I see Dallas still being the best team to get it done, but I think the Giants will jump up and finish second in this division and put some major pressure. I think the winner will be at 9-7. All right, NFC North. It is now Detroit all alone, Chicago and Green Bay at 5-4 each, and I'm going right now. I don't know. I think I gotta go really with Detroit getting this one. They're not hurt. They don't have controversy. They will get it done. And the other interesting race at this point has to be the AFC North, 6-4 and 4-5, as they're making it interesting as well. And this one's going to go right down to the wire as well. I think Cincinnati will find a way to get it done and win that division. So now let's just take a look at the playoff standings. See where our wild card. The wild card race in the NFC is pretty much between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams for pretty much 7 teams for one spot. 7 teams are within 3 games of San Francisco for the 6th playoff spot. And in the AFC, the Jets right now have the playoff spot, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams, 8 teams in that one within 2 games. 8 teams within 2 games in the AFC. So 2 playoff wild card matchups going down to the wire. All right, I want to talk a little bit about Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football last night, 22-19. Tampa Bay beating the Miami Dolphins, struggling on the offensive line, as we know. Miami rushed for a total of 2 yards. I don't think you can attribute much of it to the Richie Incognito deal. I think much of it is just because this offensive line's not good, and this team's overachieved all year. Now I think they will start to struggle even more. So that's my quick take there. Now it's time for my New York sports update. We got Syracuse hoops tonight. Syracuse will be taking on the Fordham Rams at the Dome tonight. Syracuse won on Friday night against Cornell in a big game. They won that one by 22. Trevor Cooney, 27 points. Knicks and Nets both off tonight. They will get back into action. Knicks will play tomorrow night, and I think the Nets will play on Thursday, so that should be good stuff. Their Yankee free agents, Granderson, Kuroda, and Cano all become free agents. They decline offers on the qualifying offers that the Yankees gave to them. So we'll take a look. Yankees are looking hard at Tanaka, the Japanese pitcher. I'll have a full breakdown of Tanaka tomorrow. I'm going to watch some film of Tanaka tonight, and I'll let you know what I think about him tomorrow. I've heard he's a lot like Hiroki Kuroda, but we'll get a full, so we'll have a free agent breakdown on Tanaka tomorrow on the Blogging Grill. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow. Also have my Heisman top 3. We'll talk college hoops as 1 versus 2 and 4 versus 5. Go at it tonight, and it's going to be good. I'll also hand out my Week 10 NFL awards. Always remember, follow me on Twitter, YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blogging Grill. I'm 8-2 in the School Fantasy League, 6-4 in my other one. I will see you again. See you tomorrow.